All right.
Hey,
Oh,
Tyler.
show the merch a little bit.
Yeah, little merch, but hey, we got something else to talk about too. Your boys, your Eagles. A big win. The Super Bowl.
Oh, I
The
thought you said
Super Bowl.
the Eels, not the
No, the
Eagles. I was
Eagles.
like,
The
what
Eagles. No,
fucking
no, no,
Eagles?
no, no. That's later. That's later. No,
Eh,
your boy, the Eagles. I'm sorry. I was like,
yeah,
where's the
they.
Eagles? Yeah, that was unexpected. Percent.
I
1,000%.
mean, I was cheering for the Eagles, and I did not see a murder happening.
Yeah, I had to stop gambling. I was losing too much, so I quit. I quit. So yeah, we got some merch out. Yeah, my big bed sheet of a sweater. We got that. And we were just kind of talking a little bit about those. So there'll be more information to come on those coming up. Check the socials. We'll put stuff out on there. We'll talk about that at the end. We have our link tree and all of our bios, so that'll give you access to every one of our socials. So and if you're watching this on YouTube, we have a link tree right there on YouTube. If you're watching this on Spotify or listening to it on Spotify, there's a link tree there. Or if you call us on TikTok or one of the other places, there's always link trees in those. So welcome to Cape Marks Podcast. My name's Adam. That's Tyler. We got a busy week of stuff to talk about, don't we?
Oh, let's get into the fucking news.
Whoop,
Right?
whoop. Okay, we're starting PG-13 right away.
Dropping F-bombs in the first 5 minutes.
You only get one. You only get one, then we got to move into honor. So keep us non-restricted, please.
All right. So for news, Ricky Stubbs is now at the NXT.
How awesome is that?
I love it. He hadn't been booked since last year. I think they said February or March, and it's literally because he's friends with Punk, and I know it is.
That's crazy to me. It's crazy if that's the case because that dude's a talent. But I mean, honestly, good on WWE for seizing that opportunity because this is gonna be hot. Wasn't he like on the show right before or on a show recently before being on NXT? Like it was, or he was released the day before or something like that.
Yeah. And Tony Khan is just. We'll get into Tony Khan here in a minute.
Yeah.
I used to like that guy. I did. I backed him. I was like, yeah, somebody's gonna stick it to Vince, and then Vince left, and I was like, what's? And then Tony Khan just slowly but surely let all of this, honestly, everything go to his head, and he just starts making these crazy, irrational decisions. And on top of that, like adding on injury time on Ray Phoenix and forcing him to sit out his contract and not book him. Same exact thing that he did to Ricky Starks. Don't book him for a year.
Yeah. I
Ricky
mean,
Starks not gonna book for a year.
he filled the McMahon void, like that's a black hole that you're dealing with. And as soon as that black hole, as soon as that something came out of that, he's got to fill, and that was what Tony Khan did. Luckily he did it and Triple H didn't because that'd have been rough.
Yeah. But now there is one thing about Ricky Starks is people don't know if he's going to be able to use the Ricky Starks name. That's why in his promo that he cut from the crowd, he said, "You already know who I am." Never said his name. But in my opinion, I don't think Tony Khan owns his name. So I don't know why he wouldn't be able to use it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I do remember seeing that, like he just never said his name, never said his name. So I just assumed it was kind of one of those same thing you were just talking about right there, where it's like maybe they didn't know if he could use it or not. But I mean, we all know who he is. Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah. He's gonna make a big impact.
Kind of wild that they ran him out there on a Tuesday instead of Vengeance Day, which was last night. I mean, they had enough going on Vengeance Day. We could talk about that on another episode here or next week if you want, but maybe we gotta start working in NXT to some of this because that Vengeance Day was incredible. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they didn't hold him.
They're talking about like there's a Shield 2.0 now. Obafemi got attacked by Jordan Grace came out and stared down not one but both NXT champions.
Mm-hmm.
Big show.
Yeah, I think that's all that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Keeping it kayfabe, Sami Zayn has massive nerve damage and a compressed spine after being package pile driven by Kevin Owens. Now, obviously, but we're all supposed to believe that he was jacked up.
Well,
I like it. I like it for the storyline.
His beard looked phenomenal. I'm going to tell you that his beard was on point. I don't know if he is we got a stylist, at the hospital he's recovering at, but that person needs a raise because phenomenal beard work. But the rest of that, we know what it is.
His beard makes me want to shave mine off.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Kevin's too, so.
Yeah. So this is the big Tony Khan news here. So AEW had AEW Grand Slam Australia, and it was a frickin' mess. They had to switch venues at the last second because they originally went with a stadium, couldn't anywhere near fill it, had to switch to an arena. Barely anybody had time to figure out where their ticket is now. One dude posted on Twitter that he spent $2,000 on a seat to be up close right by the ring, and the new one, seat that he had was halfway in the back.
I would be livid.
Tony Khan, he offered no refunds, and when he did come out, to welcome to Australia or whatever the hell he was going to do, everybody booed the hell out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's corny, but, it's just, I don't really like, kicking AEW again, because like I said before, I don't watch it enough to really have an opinion on it. But it is what it is, and things aren't looking good when that's the kind of stuff that's happening, and the free agents that are coming out of your company, when they're disgruntled the way they are, and the stuff that's happening there, it's very, very,
That's what Booker T on his podcast actually compared AEW to WCW at the end there.
Yeah, it's hard not to. It's hard not to. We'll see what happens. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, and having competition is always a good thing. It makes WWE better. It makes, wrestling as a whole better. More people get an opportunity to be seen. So I don't necessarily want anything to happen to AEW. I would just rather it be done better. I'd probably pay more attention if it was just a little bit of a better product. There's some stuff that's good. There's some I've seen some clips of, Swerve and what's his name? Hangman, Adam Page, going back and forth. And that's very stone cold Brian Pillman, RIP, of them. But is that Swerve? That's
Swerve.
That's Swerve.
It's weird that he said that and he's in arm's reach.
But yeah, so there's good stuff over there. There's good stuff. It's just, I think they got to string it together and maybe draw back, give some of the creative control to the wrestlers, but also understand that not everybody can get over all the time. So you gotta kind of, they need a head writer in there not named Tony Khan, somebody that can hold the talent to the fire and say, this is the best route we're going in, and figure it out within this framework. We're not going to hold you to a script within the framework, but you got to stay within the framework, so that's what they need, I think.
And the last two things I have here for news, sadly, Josh Alexander allegedly signed with AEW. So in my opinion, there goes another talent to be misused and then put on the back burner. And I really wanted him in WWE.
See, was he going to chain wrestle with Ospreay now?
I mean, there is going to be some dream matches. I'd like to see him against Ricochet too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. It's fun to watch.
It is. And then the last bit here, Michelle McCool is the next WWE Hall of Fame inductee.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. And what she keeps doing for the company too. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah.
So keeping Undertaker young and around. I mean, that right there is a service in itself. So
there's a show that airs tonight at
I was going to bring that up. LFG. It's on A&E. Yeah, that looks really good. Like a new version of Tough Enough. Yeah, like a new Tough Enough, and with Bully Ray and Undertaker and Booker, and is it Michelle McCool too? Was she on there too?
Yep. Yeah, she's on there.
Yeah, so that'll be. I'm really excited about that. That's something that we're going to be watching here. Probably all of us.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a reason that I like that we have parameters on today's episode because I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into Monday Night Raw. First thing I'm going to say about Monday Night Raw this week, way too many backstage segments and promos.
Yeah, I don't think that changed at all this week between the shows. So
It was a lot.
yeah.
Like, it was a lot. And i.e., that's the reason that for one show, I have 13 pages of notes.
Yeah, it's a little excessive. And I mean, obviously, like usual, my notes aren't nearly as detailed because, it's just I looked at the whole picture of all of them, and there were just too many. It's just there. So I kind of just talk about a lot of it as a whole, right? But yeah, there's a lot. So go for it.
All right, so Jey Uso kicked it off Raw, and for a second week in a row, he had an encore entrance. I hope they don't make this a thing every week, but it is cool.
It is cool, but it's long.
Jey was doing the yeet on the announcer table where Gunther out of nowhere attacks him and takes Uso out. And then the funniest thing that I caught, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but Gunther rips off that sweatshirt and whips it and hits a little kid in the face.
Like I thought, because they showed that. I saw it on Twitter a couple times, or X or whatever. But was he aiming at Pat? was he trying to hit Pat? Oh,
I think
man.
so. And that kid just ate a zipper.
Oh, that's gold.
Gunther throws Jey into the ring and gives him not one but two power bombs. Gets broken up and Gunther's getting ushered out. Jay's still on the ground, grabs the microphone and says, "I might regret this, but Gunther, I choose you."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's official. WrestleMania 41, Jey Uso, Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship match.
Worst kept secret in the biz.
Yeah, we all knew that was coming.
Yeah. It is exciting. I'm glad that they named it. Now they can build it again. I do. Early prediction. I think we might have a shot with Jey. Jey may get over there. Netflix needs a star.
Yeah.
Netflix needs a star. Nothing against Gunther, but he's just not a star. He's not Roman. He's not. Yeah.
I definitely think that Jey, they booked it wrong if Jey doesn't go over.
Yeah, there's no point to this. Why would you do this? Why would you have him lose so much, have him get his butt whooped, still be as popular as he is, capitalize on that in the Rumble just to have him lose? That makes no sense.
I could be worried because this does happen to a lot of the guys that are massively over, and then they finally conquer and win the championship, and then everybody's like, this kind of happened with Cody a little bit. It's like, he did it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's why they keep twisting us with Cody. No, you're right. It's that fatigue too. The reason that Roman was able to keep doing it for so long was, number one, he wasn't on TV every week, and he didn't want people to yell his name, so he didn't need to be on TV every week, and so he was able to keep it a little bit more fresh. But a Cody and what would be a Jey, they need to be on TV. People need to see them. People need to be around that energy for them to keep that going, and then that people get tired of it for no other reason than they just want to see something else.
Yeah, so that could be the only thing I think management would be holding him back from, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. If you're going to put a title on, put a title on. You know what I mean? Why keep pushing it along? You're not going to let Gunther break any records. He's not going to. Why continue this? So I just think that's the easiest pick. I hope I get that pick when we pick our picks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put my beard on the line this year.
You're what?
I'm putting the beard on the line for the bet.
Well, I don't know. I can't do that. I can't put the beard on the line. Yeah.
Neither can I, but I'll do it.
Listen, I will drink about anything you want me to drink, but the beard might get me divorced. So I'd rather keep. Nobody in this house has ever seen me without a beard. Not once. So
I don't know if I have.
You have not. No. We met after I started growing up. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Ripley interview says that if Liv wins the Elimination Chamber, she'll see her at WrestleMania. As for the top girl, Charlotte Flair, she's wasting everybody's time. And I was like, damn, shots fired there. Finally, our first match of the night was a tag match between Judgment Day's Liv and Raquel. versus Io Sky and Dakota Kai. A good match with a decent amount of spots. Big ups for Liv taking a knee and getting busted open. That was cool.
Yeah, Liv's a baller, man. Liv is a baller. And nobody better to play that role.
No, I remember seeing, like, I didn't think the knee was impactful enough to get busted open hard way like that. But next thing you know, she's got blood pouring down the side of her head.
Yeah. And she ran with it.
Yeah, I don't have any news either on how many staples or stitches or anything yet. I'm gonna look that up just myself.
She should come out with a shirt like Finn Balor's though, just to stoke that fire a little bit. 10 staples, 16 staples, whatever.
I think it'd be cool. She's smart. She'll run with it. The match was, where am I? Oh yeah. So Liv getting hit like that actually made Io look like a bigger badass than she already does too, which I also added.
She's so clean in the ring. It's crazy.
Yeah, she is. And the match ends with an over the moonsault. Io wins. Raquel carries Liv to the back, which was also another nice little addition to the match. Next, we had the Elimination Chamber qualifier, Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. It started with really good chain wrestling. I'm kind of always the guy that likes chain wrestling, especially at the beginning of matches.
Was this a rematch? Were they the finals for the Intercontinental title? I can't remember.
Shit, I can look at my previous notes.
Yeah, we'll check it later. I was just wondering. It feels like a rematch. It was a good match, though. You're right. Sorry to ruin your flow. Go for it.
Yeah, here we go. I just said that. Technical style. There was a spot that did get botched a little bit when Bayley does that sunset flip into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Lyra too close to the turnbuckle, so it kind of looked like shite.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, the match ended with a nice sequence of reversals into a cradle for Bayley to win. And I really like the end of that because we don't get enough of those roll-up cradle wins.
Not anymore. No, we were just talking about that. Yeah, not anymore.
No, so I like that. And I think that they should start bringing back a few more roll-ups here and there. It's kind of protecting everybody's finisher and also shows everybody that, hey, it can end at any second.
Right. No, I like it. And especially with some of these little slick heels, it's really good. And I was just thinking Lyra kind of reminds me just like of a young Becky, not just because the whole Irish thing, like clearly there's that, but just she seems a little like robotic at times, but you can see that she's really good. Like she just has to keep loosening up because once she gets into the match, I feel like she really loosens up and goes flying up. And I just felt that same way with Becky when she was first coming up in NXT. Is just she felt really stiff, and then all of a sudden you see spots of like, holy crap, she's really good. So,
shit, the first time I ever saw Becky Lynch, she was doing the freaking river dance on her entrance. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
My first Becky Lynch experience before, and then I ended up going back and watching all of Becky Lynch. But my first Becky Lynch experience was Steampunk Becky. That was back when I kind of came back.
That's when you started coming to my place for pay-per-views. Steampunk Becky.
Steampunk Becky, yep.
Yeah. That I don't think that she did it maybe more than one time, but that river dance and all green with the red hair, I'm like, come on, it's not. Little did I know she'd become a freaking mega star, but
still to this day could sell out arenas, and she's been gone for a year, almost two, I don't know, a while.
It's been a little over a year, I think. Maybe close to a year. I don't think it hasn't been a year yet. It's been close to, because the last match was against Lyra.
It feels like forever in my heart, okay? I need Becky back.
I want her back too. I do. The end of the match was pretty cool. Bayley helping up Lyra, two giving each other a big hug. It actually got a huge pop in the crowd.
Yeah, they do this so much now. I'm surprised that people still cheer it. I'm surprised that they're still doing it. It's almost overdone. It just doesn't seem as special anymore when it happens. But I don't know. I guess it feels like anytime you have two non-heels wrestling in a big spot, they hug afterwards, men and women. And it's just kind of like, you can be not a bad guy and still be mad that you lost. Like, that's okay. So
you do see quite a bit of the at the end of the match handshake for the men, for sure. I've been noticing that. But so there you go. first 2 matches of the night were women's matches. They're keeping pretty consistent with doing almost like a 50-50 booking every Monday.
On Monday, yeah, and it's crazy because what you're saying about the women's matches, I say about the tag team division later, and it's the same thing on SmackDown. It's all about tag teams. It's crazy.
Aren't really tag team heavy over there.
Yeah, it's wild.
So next we got a short Penta showing, or a short of Penta. God, you can tell I wrote this because I can't read it. A short of Penta shouting Cero Miedo or Miedo, or I don't know, dude. I don't know Spanish. It means zero. I got that part. I know what it means. I just can't say it right. But he said that he's going to teach Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser a lesson. It's that quick of a short.
Yeah.
Following that, there's a backstage interview with Kaiser. He says that he won't stop until Penta's done for good. Pete Dunne pops up behind him and tells Kaiser that he wasn't trying to help him last week. Kaiser responded with, "I don't need your help." And Dunne said that he will finish off Penta next week for good. So now we already know it's Penta versus Pete Dunne next week.
Right.
Talk about that for a second. I don't see any reprimanding of Kaiser from the no selling the arm and everything else. I mean, they're right back on TV, right back with the Penta thing. Maybe the one thing that he's getting in trouble for is he's not getting a rematch. Pete is.
And maybe they're holding it until after this because this is good. I mean, I do like seeing these guys chase Penta and Penta be like, we can run this anytime you want to. So no, it's good TV right now. It's good filler. You know, we always want to have that stuff in the middle that's like, all right, this is entertaining, but you know, it's not going to be main build. That's what this is. That's good. So
yeah, but definitely really good mid card match we've been getting right now, especially from Penta. Sip a beer.
Yep. Oh, it's just that's left of my old fashioned. But yeah, no, it's this mid card stuff right now is pretty good. I talk a little bit about SmackDowns, but I think what Raw is doing with the women in the mid card is way above and beyond. And it's shorter time too. Generally, it's 2.5 hours for them. So they're really making the most out of the time. And I could sit through another half hour and not be mad at Raw.
Yeah, it's honestly. Raw has been so entertaining that if they would have just kept Raw 3 hours and SmackDown 2 hours, I think it'd have been better off right now because SmackDown is a grind.
It's a grind. Yeah, trust me, I went through it today. Yeah, no, I mean, in Raw itself it's back to what it used to be, where Raw was the main kind of attraction show. You wanted to watch that, and maybe they're just teasing us. They're just giving us a little bit now, and then they'll jump it up to 3. You know, once they kind of get clamoring for it, but. Whatever they're doing now is working, so
yeah,
I wouldn't change it at all.
No, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, it's working.
So next, the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile walk up on Lyra Valkyria talking to Alpha Academy.
Yeah,
I'm over the Alpha Academy and American Made. Over it.
Yeah, I mean, we can move on if you'd like. I'm over it too. It's a lot of filler. That's the bad filler. Not that anybody involved in that is bad. I love absolutely everybody involved in that situation, but it's just not. It hasn't been good.
No, and with Chad Gable being gone, learning the dark arts of lucha libre,
it's better pay off.
Yeah. So Niall was teasing Lyra and warns her that she's coming for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
She also followed it up with, and the Creed brothers are going to be the tag team champions.
We got a match later.
I think a match between Niall and Lyra would be pretty good. I do like Ivy Nile. I like her style.
Good. Yeah, she's good. She's good with anybody. So, yeah, I have no gripes about that. I do think eventually they're going to take that title off of Lyra and move her back move her up into the main event scene. But, I think for now they have no reason to, and there's nobody that's stepped up that's that, oh my goodness, we need to give it to them. So, you know, Tiffany Stratton had the title. You know, that's the only other person I could see them being like, we need to give this to them. So,
which it's kind of the same thing with Chelsea Green too. It's like I don't really see anybody over there that should be the U.S. champ right now.
No, I mean, and she's printing money, so there's no reason to change up what you're doing with her either. Let her just keep printing you money. It's crazy.
So next, AJ Styles finally returns to Monday Night Raw and talked to the fans about, well, first he said that with how big of a pop he got, he was like, my heart feels like it's going to fly onto my chest right now.
He did get a big pop.
And then he said that he had deja vu from the last time the last time he was there was him thinking that I'm hurt and my career's over. So he did talk a little bit about that injury. Talks about how hard it was dealing with the injury, and he has a to-do list. That's when Dominic Mysterio comes out and interrupts him, tells AJ that it's been a while since AJ's been on Raw, but now some things have changed. The crowd obviously given that Dom heat.
Yep.
AJ says, yeah, they have changed. No more Damian, no more Ripley. All I see is a guy in purple skinny jeans, which was Carlito.
Yep.
And Rey Mysterio's punk ass kid, which
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah.
Fight breaks out. Dom sets up for a 619, misses, and then runs off. And Carlito gets a phenomenal forearm. So
I'm happy AJ Styles is back. I hope he flirts with that line a little bit of heel and good guy, but he feels like he's back as a good guy, which is good because I just had to edit my list because I forgot how much I hated his heel run. So I just took somebody out, put him in there. But yeah, I'm glad he's back. Hopefully we get a Dominic and AJ rivalry. That would be dope. Push that American Made stuff out of the way and give me more of that.
So I have a thought on this as to why AJ came back as a face, because when he got hurt, he was heel.
Yep.
I think he's kicked because the Good Brothers are gone.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he doesn't have anything else. So, I mean, you can't really, it's hard to be a heel alone, like that kind of heel. You kind of need, you need a crew. So, all right.
You guys pull that off.
Yeah.
There's an in-crowd segment with Jackie Redmond joined by Seth Rollins.
I like those. I do like those in-crowd segments. They're kind of cool.
They're different. It's nice. I mean,
like on-field stuff in the NFL. Like it's just on the sideline stuff, Like it's kind of the same idea.
Seth Rollins tells him the men's elimination chamber is stacked. John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. With later on the show, there being another qualifying match with Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. And then next week, we have Finn Balor versus Rollins. Rollins says his path to Mania is getting clearer, and all eyes are on Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Balor interrupts and says, all eyes are on you, Seth Rollins. Everyone sees cracks. Everyone saw Seth lose to Punk. They saw Seth lose his mind at the Rumble. The only thing standing in Balor's way is a man falling apart. Rollins responds with saying they've done this dance many times before, and every time they face off, they put on a show. But he's got unfinished business with Punk and some loose ends to tie up with Cody. So the way Seth sees it, it's Balor standing in his way, and after next Monday, Balor won't be standing.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a good one-off match. I'm excited for it. I think it's obvious who's going to, go over there, but they're doing the best they can to make Balor feel real here, but Seth will be in there.
It'd be wild if Finn does win, though, right?
It would. It would be wild because honestly, we know who's winning the chamber. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things that it would be wild just to further the downfall of Seth, but I don't see that. I think that's got to happen in the chamber with everybody else.
Yeah, I think so too.
When that field has to look at John Cena as the winner,
no way, Punk's winning.
Dude, I respect your feelings on that. They're just incorrect. Cena's winning that thing, and Punk is going to lose it. He's gonna lose it. He's gonna lose it, and I can't wait. Everybody in that, just whoever is in that chamber, they're all going to be insane after John Cena wins that. They're all going on great heel runs. Every single one of them.
Dude, if he does win, if Cena does win, and he does go to Manny, and he does lose to Cody, like I called in a previous episode,
he'll beat Cody too.
You think Cody would get his 17th?
They're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him and let him ride off. They're going to give it to him. It's going to
All right,
happen,
now,
man. I'm telling you right now. Calling it. Book it. Check it. I might have
I
had,
mean, it would not be a bad story.
it wouldn't. I mean, I may have had one or two mini old fashions, but I am telling you, John Cena is going to WrestleMania and John Cena is going to beat Cody Rhodes and he's going to win a 17th. And then I don't know how they're going to play with it after that, but that's what's going to happen.
I hope not. I hope Punk wins.
I mean, it's more likely that that happens. I think what I got going is going to happen.
Let's just, we all don't want a certain person that I haven't gotten into to win it.
No, we don't. But I'm gonna check and see if there's any futures bets on WrestleMania for that. Let's see if I can get in.
So next we have the World Tag title match, the Creed Brothers versus the War Raiders. Pretty much what we all thought for the most part. Hard-hitting moves from the War Raiders, strong technical style from the Creed Brothers, with an unexpected distraction from Ivy Nile that happens in every single match that they have. It was good for what it is, but
I absolutely love the Creed brothers. It pains me that they're not booked better right now. I don't know how they would do it better with them, but it sucks that they're not. It's same with AOP. You know, I used to love them. So
the only thing that this match did that I wasn't like, okay, yep, I knew that was going to happen, was the ending where, Eric and Ivar go for War Machine on Brutus when Julius blasts Ivar in the side of the head with one of the tag titles. Eric attacks Julius, but Brutus lays Eric out with a title shot to the head, and the Creed brothers stand there holding the belts with Ivy Nile. I didn't see an ending like that. I thought the Creed brothers were going to lose clean again.
yeah, I mean, I like it though. I like the edge from it, and the cool thing too is I can. So I just saw the today that in the new Tough season, the Ultimate Fighter for UFC, that Julius is going to be one of the coaches on Daniel Cormier's team. So, like, I could see him having to be gone for that, or you know, if they've already filmed a bunch of it, I don't know. But I mean, that adds some legitimacy to what he does, and it just furthers the point of this guy should not, neither of them, because they're both incredible amateur wrestlers and incredible athletes. Neither of them should be getting run through the way they get run through. Like, I mean, they always put up a fight, but they never really have a chance, and it just kind of doesn't make sense to me.
I had no idea freaking Julius was like MMA like that.
Yeah, well, he trained apparently. I just saw this today. I'm not some UFC savant, but he helped train Daniel Cormier for his rematch against John Jones, which I was like, you lost that, so I don't know why you bring that guy back, but he liked him.
Maybe a good camp.
Yeah, he liked him. So, I mean, it'll be those guys they're really good, and they've got good personalities. Like they're funny. They're legit. They could be stars if you let them. I mean, either one of those dudes could be an Angle level star, but no, that's crazy. Not Angle.
Not Angle, but Team
Gable,
Angle. Sure.
your team Angle, yeah. Haas, Benjamin, you know, any of them could be that guy. You just got to give them a shot, and they're way, in my opinion, way better than both of those guys, especially on the microphone. So,
Yeah, they just got to give them the ball and let them run with it. I'd like to see where they do go because honestly, American made it. Have they really won all that much?
and at this point, I almost wish they were back on SmackDown so they could get into that mix. But it's pretty convoluted over there. So hopefully they can get their shot over here. Maybe that's why they're keeping them here to get that. So
Yeah, we'll see. Judgment Day Clubhouse, Finn dresses down Dom for starting issues with AJ, and he's not going to get help from any of the Judgment Day. Dom has to figure it out for himself. Dom says that they've been shorthanded since JD went down, and they need a new member. Balor makes a remark about JD being hurt, while Morgan steps in and says, "Don't blame Dom for JD, and we do need a new member." Balor completely refuses and says next week he'll beat Seth, win the Elimination Chamber, win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Judgment Day's falling apart.
yeah, Judgment Day is falling apart.
I don't see them being a group for much longer.
Well, otherwise, you're going to have the same thing you've had literally 3 times in a row now, where you push out the top guy and then have another person come in and then they fight to be the top guy, and then, you know, and it's just we gotta move on. What was that?
I think it's ran its course.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, we gotta move on. We gotta move on.
Agree. Backstage segment between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, with Ripley saying, "I don't owe you anything, Io. I'm not giving you a title match because I owe you one. I'm giving it to you because I want to." And that title match is next Monday. Now we get to my favorite guy in the whole world, besides Jesus.
Logan Paul.
God, no.
Oh, sorry. I thought I knew it. Man, I apologize.
I mean, if it helps, Logan Paul is going to be in this part.
Yeah, I know he is. I know. Listen, if it helps, I want you to know I went 1-30 with Logan Paul the other day in the Royal Rumble against my boy. Won it all. So I'm calling BS on 2025's Royal Rumble.
Oh man, dude, I seriously, like, I uninstalled WWE 2K24 yesterday. Just like I'm ready. Give me that game.
Oh, it's coming.
March
It's
7th,
coming.
man. March 7th. I can't wait to fire Logan Paul. It's the first thing I'm gonna do.
Should we live stream playing it?
We should.
Yeah,
I think we
we'll
should.
work that out.
Are you pre-ordering?
I'll probably. Ezra's really excited about it, so I might have to make that happen.
Pre-order it. You got to wait an entire week. It comes out on March 14th for everyone else. March 7th if you pre-order.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
I'll probably pre-order.
You just pre-order. Trust me.
I'll probably pre-order. I say non-committal, but let's be real. I'm gonna pre-order it.
So Punk addresses Elimination Chamber and says if you would have asked him a few weeks ago, he'd have told them with all the confidence in the world that he was going to win the Royal Rumble. But sometimes he talks too much, and Matthew from Botchamania is going to love that, by the way. Do you watch Botchamania?
No.
You don't? You should check that out. Everybody that does watch Botchamania, you talk too much, they'll get the reference. Punk is disappointed, but not mad at Jey Uso. He likes watching his peers accomplish their goals. Punk addresses Cena, declaring he's in the Elimination Chamber instead of earning a spot. And he said bad news for Cena because he's going to beat the crap out of him and go to WrestleMania. He goes on to talk about Drew McIntyre and calls him a piece of garbage that ran to SmackDown after Hell in a Cell. The truth brings up Seth and Finn and says he can win, but it won't matter because Punk is going to WrestleMania no matter what. He's never been more confident of anything in his life. Logan Paul interrupts Punk, and the crowd went crazy. It was way louder than any of the dots.
Yep. They're going to sell this. They're going to sell it, because it is money right now.
Oh, dude, Punk loved it. Did you see Punk doing like this? Like, feeding
yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yep. Listen, I'll tell you in a minute.
Logan was trying to say, I see why they call you a punk, although he can come up with better names. Dude, this promo by Paul is god awful. It was just bad.
I don't think he's as good on the mic as people give him credit for.
It's not good anywhere. It's just me. Paul says he doesn't understand why the people boo him. Punk talked trash, and Logan threw Punk over the top rope and gave Punk his 15 minutes of fame. Punk compares Paul Pete to Dominic Mysterio and said he would have mentioned him in his promo, but he forgot Paul was even in the match. And if somehow he gets past Rey Mysterio in the 619, he'll put Paul to sleep. And I was like, yes, he gonna.
Listen, I need to tell you what's going to happen. All right, I'm
TV.
I'm seeing into the future, and I want you to know what is going to happen in a couple weeks at Elimination Chamber. Okay, they are going to enter that chamber. They're going to battle. Everybody's going to fight. Eventually, some people are going to need to get eliminated, right? Eventually, in order for John Cena to win, CM Punk has to go, right?
It's not going to happen. I think Logan Paul
is gonna pin CM Punk, and that's gonna be your match at WrestleMania.
I will hate that.
I know you will. That's why I want it to happen so bad. I need you to have to sit through that. I need you to have to go through that.
Yeah, I have to suffer.
I don't know. Sometimes I like to see the world burn, but I just want to see you have to go through Logan Paul versus it could be a good match. It could be fun.
Oh, we'll get into how Logan Paul works here in a second. I got the last.
Go for it. Go ahead. Go for it.
Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. I'm going to read this word for word how I wrote it down.
Oh, boy.
Mysterio bitch slaps Paul to start the match. Boos and chants of Logan sucks were deafening. 13,009 people all booing at the same time with bad heat. And it doesn't look good for a part-timer. Besides seeing a lot of Hangman Adam Page's moves in this match, it was just bad. Logan multiple times could be seen not knowing what's next in the match and Ray having to hold his hand through it the whole time, which is really bad seeing as to how Paul literally has weeks to rehearse every single detail, which shows me that he's not serious about this and shouldn't be here. The match ends with Paul hitting a move he calls the Pulverizer, which is like a suplex flip into a DDT. Good luck doing that to anybody else that's anybody. It worked because it's Rey Mysterio and he weighs 100.
I mean, he could probably do it to Punk. I don't know.
Come on. There's no, it's not going to happen.
I could see him doing that to Punk. It just right before that pin. This is going to suck for you. The Elimination Chamber is going to suck. I don't have a horse in this race. I just want to see the world burn. And there is nothing better than to see all of that happen. I need this. I need this in my life. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
Cody, but it probably won't happen.
Just, you know how I feel.
I'm still putting all my chips on Punk because I would never bet against him, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens. This chamber is going to be fun.
It is. That's Monday Night Raw. And as you can tell, so many backstage segments and interviews.
Yeah.
A lot. 4 matches in 2.5 hours.
Yeah. That just seems to be, it's the product right now. But it's also the build-up to WrestleMania. I get it. They got to do a lot of off-screen stuff, and they still want to give us good matches. So, you can't have these people who are the big-name stars who are going to be filling out the WrestleMania card fighting every week. You just can't do it. So, we'll see what happens as we get through the chamber. We'll see what happens. Probably pick up more.
Speaking of promos,
yeah,
they brought promos back into universe mode in WWE 2K.
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that last week, I think.
I know. I'm just gonna keep shamelessly plugging that game.
They don't know about us. All right, stop giving them free money. All right, we gotta get them to know about us first and make them pay us for it.
Sponsor have to pay $100 for your game.
I'm tagging 2K25 and everything we do now. I'm trying to get paid. Let's talk about SmackDown really quick. I did not go into nearly as much detail, but I don't think it was required in this one. SmackDown was what SmackDown's been for the last few weeks. It was a drag. It was difficult to get through, but there was some good stuff that happened. Cody getting us started, looking like an absolute 50s gangster or politician, whichever one. I was going to say they're the tomato a little bit. But yeah, he starts in on those guys, and Drew comes out and does his thing, and then Jacob comes out and does his thing, and then Drew, being the heel, the guy right now, in my opinion, Drew gets out of there like a smart man, like Razor Ramon reincarnated. He is bouncing, and that was the best thing that could have happened. So. Then you got the Solo coming in, and I thought this was a big moment for Jacob because when he put his hand out and he stopped Cody from leaving, he was like, "No, this is me." I was like, "Whoa, that's the champ." That's the champ. You shouldn't put your hands on the champ, but he did, and I think that's a big moment for.
So, how do we feel about Solo coming back?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with Solo coming back. I do talk a little bit about my frustration with the whole thing. It's we can just go on it now, but it's just, to me, it's one of those backstage things that needs some payoff here soon because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to have the Solo Jacob Fatu infighting it just, I don't know. I guess I don't really understand why they're doing it this way, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only part that I was a little disappointed in is Solo came back and he looked exactly like Solo that left. I thought something would be changed, would be different, and there was.
And not only looked, but he acted the same way. I mean, he still kind of had that air of, I'm in charge here. And I'm like, who are you talking to? Like the way Jacob responded was perfect to me. It was almost like a sucking of the teeth and walking away. But, we'll see what happens because I could go. I could go for a Solo Jacob Fatu match.
Yeah.
I could go for that. Like that would be, so they say Solo's limited, but I don't think he's been unleashed. Like that dude was can do some of the stuff Jacob can do. It's just he hasn't been put in that position yet. So I really want to see a Solo Jacob battle way more than I want to see a Jacob Roman battle. I don't even like that fight. I like Jacob Solo.
I like Jacob Solo too. I don't see what's the word I'm looking for. I don't see it being. I can't think of the big fancy word. I don't see it being worth Fatu versus Roman. I don't see it making money. They don't have a rivalry. It was Solo and Roman, and Jacob Fatu was Solo's monster. Well, now Solo's not in charge. Why would Fatu still want Roman?
Right. And honestly, Solo Roman I didn't like. Just there's a certain aura, if you want to say, and I think that they wanted to create that for Solo. I think they wanted to like make an aura and then fit Solo into it, and it just doesn't work that way. Or the word I think you were looking for was advantageous. It's just not very advantageous of them to do this because there's no payoff. What's the payoff in it? If you're gonna have somebody step to Roman, it better be a pretty high level. So it had to have been The Rock. It had to be The Rock. It can't be Solo. It can't. Honestly, it can't even be Cody at this point. It's like Cody's huge, but Cody had no business taking that title off Roman.
No,
It just.
well, the Cody crybabies quit crying.
Yeah, honestly, he had no business. He had no business. I mean, he should have had the other title and could have done great things with that title. But obviously, I think Roman also needed a break. But it's just one of those things that I don't think they booked the right people in the right spots. They could have stretched this out a little bit longer, even, and hopefully gotten some of the other family members, like maybe Azilla Fatu, who could be that guy that could stand toe to toe with a Roman and look stature wise in his eyes, and stare him down once he got to that level. Like Zilla's a monster, but he's not Roman Reigns. So
I genuinely think Zilla's going to be signed.
Yeah, so do I. It'll just be too little, too late at that point. I feel like I don't know how they would. I mean, they if they could have stretched this longer, it could have been a really cool thing. It could have been a really big thing. They got their money and ran. I'm not mad at it. So
No.
I think now, like we gotta move on. Let's figure something else out.
Yeah, I don't want to see a trilogy either with Cody and Roman. Everybody,
No.
I didn't like the Lesnar Roman trilogy. I don't like any of it.
Yeah, I don't mind trilogies, but I don't want them played out at WrestleMania. I want them played out through the build up. I want WrestleMania to be the third fight, to be the third match, not to be 3 WrestleManias. That's crazy. Anyway, moving on, we got Naomi going up against Chelsea Green, and I was really interested in this match just because if Naomi won, I was like, ooh, how are they going to play this? And Naomi did win, and I was like, ooh, how are they going to play this? Like, that's kind of crazy. I was like, are they going to further this whole Naomi did it or Bianca did it kind of thing with Jade? So I left it there. So I was just confused and hope that, like, that was going to play out. But then we had Motor City Machine Guns versus Los Garzas. And that was the match that it's been. It's been that match against them, against DIY, against Pretty Deadly. Like, all 4 of them can interchange each other in this situation. So I'm a little over it, but at the same time, they switch them up enough that it's still exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
But they do talk a little bit later about Pretty Deadly, and I was just wondering during this whole match, I kept thinking, where are the Street Profits? What are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't been in a match yet.
No, you think you'd want to capitalize on that? And I know later they come out, and I'm kind of like, oh well, there they are. But why haven't they?
I don't know. They don't have anything even scheduled yet for them to fight, right? They're not scheduled for a match at Elimination Chamber.
No, I
Nothing.
imagine they'll get something at WrestleMania after Elimination Chamber, but yeah, I don't see anything. Um,
Yeah. They have anything else to add to it until they have a match and actually do something.
right.
I think.
And I mean, they cut a couple promos and they were good, but they felt the same. Both promos felt the same. I didn't get anything different from either one of them. I know I'm jumping ahead in the show, but I didn't get anything from either one of them that jumped out. I'm like, all right, you guys look ready to go. You keep showing me breaking this aluminum crutch over this guy's back. Oh, do something. Let me see something. So
Wonderful match.
yeah, we'll see how they play it after Elimination Chamber, I think. So
That's when they're going to give it more attention.
yeah, maybe they'll come out and ruin something or do something. I don't know. I did that back again. I cut a lot of these backstage segments short because there was just too many in a row, and not many of them mattered. But I did think that the Solo and Jacob backstage encounter, while I thought it was good, I thought it could have been better. I thought that could have been more emotional or more intense than what it was.
You cut out. There you go. You cut out for a second on me.
Oh, it may have worked on the audio, but still, I'll say it again. I thought that like that backstage encounter, I thought that could have been more intense or more emotional or something. It was good, but I just thought it could have given us more, you know, cinema.
Yeah, I definitely thought there was going to be more of maybe an attack or like, a bitch slap to Solo or something. But
Just or the other way around. Maybe Solo comes in and exerts that dominance, is like, who are you talking to? And, puts Jacob in his place, but there was none of that. It was a very mushy kind of, look, I screwed up, I messed up, I love you. It's almost kind of like a weird passing of the torch. But, for my political people out there, it was a very Kamala Biden situation. Like it was super awkward as they went past each other. And so I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that was weird.
I do want to add that when Jacob Fatu finally says, "I don't love you, Solo," that's going to hit. And he's
Yeah.
going to say,
Yeah, it's can it be a Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair moment where he just looks at him, he's like, I don't love you, and then he like moonsaults on him or super kicks him in the face or whatever. I don't know. Something
that
like
will
that.
be,
They like to waste those iconic moments on really small things now. Him and Shawn. They have fun with it. So see it.
what's next? Is it the LA Knight myth?
Yeah, so we got the Shinsuke, and I highlighted his entrance because I'm like, man, it's PLE worthy every single time. The guy has money on his entrance. And then I said that LA Knight is such a good contrast to Shinsuke. I do like their dynamic, and I think that their rivalry can go much further and should go much further. However, adding the Miz in and him coming out and getting involved in that mix, I thought was also really cool because it gave LA Knight somebody to talk to. It was like a three-way trade that worked. So it gave LA Knight somebody to talk to. It gives Shinsuke somebody else to look at, and it gives Miz something to do. It was perfect in my opinion, having those three do that.
So with that happening, and you've seen Miz like trying to partner up with everybody he walks into lately. Was this the Miz's way of going, see, Shinsuke? See? I'll be your buddy.
Could be. I mean, I hope that they find some down on their luck group that can work with Miz and be awesome, like almost like the B team was. But right now, I do like him adding that wrinkle into LA Knight trying to get to Shinsuke again because I like LA Knight on the chase. I will always love LA Knight on the chase, and that face off they had was nice. It's a marquee match in my opinion. I like them. I like this fight.
I do too. And also during that little promo part, I'm not misremembering when LA Knight said, I'm going to take that title back and make it mean something again because you're doing nothing with it.
He said, you and the guy before me did nothing with it. I'm going to take it back. Yeah. He hit with that. And, we were saying it. We were like, what is going on with Shinsuke? We said it last week. If you haven't checked out that episode, please do. But yeah, so I liked it. This right now is a perfect mid-card situation. I like it too.
So for this match between LA Knight and Miz, the way it ended, again, I enjoyed this ending because it wasn't the finisher. He did that second rope jump up, that flying people's elbow is basically what it is. And he won with it. That's a signature. That's not a finisher.
I love it.
So
I
in
love
one
it.
week, we had a roll-up victory, and we had a signature win a match. I want to see more of that.
Over a Triple Crown winner. Or I'm sorry, and a Grand Slam winner.
Grand Slam.
Twice, right? He went.
Yeah, during COVID, he was WWE champion too.
Yeah, so he went twice. I mean, to have a signature beat that, you keep him strong, and LA Knight needs to be strong because he doesn't have a huge moveset. You know what I mean? And a lot of his moves kind of resemble other moves, so he has to be kept strong because those moves have to be kept strong. So,
he's my second favorite guy in the company. It's Punk and LA Knight.
that's it. That's news to me. I that's interesting. I like that though. LA Knight's good. I love him. Ezra loves him. I love him. I don't care about the whole, is he the Rock? Trying to be the Rock? Is he trying to be Stone? I don't care. Everybody's an imitation of somebody. We all imitate somebody in our lives. So he's doing a really great job as himself, in my opinion.
Yeah, and look at Logan Paul. He imitates a lot of Adam Hangman Page, by using all of his moves. Yeah,
literally all of them. Like literally all of them, and some more. And now the WWE can't even help but comment on it. Like they say other people now they have to because he just keeps using their stuff. Anyway, moving on from him. The backstage with Nia and Alexa, I thought that was pretty cool. I was waiting for that. I'm kind of to make its way to happen again. It did have the Wyatt Six little blip in there. I'm a little bit disappointed in that. There's been a lot of chatter online about the Wyatt Six. I'm hoping that they feud with her, not bring her in. But I don't think I'm going to be right.
No, I think you are right because there is an encrypted message. Remember when the screen flashed?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you mix it. It said something along the lines of, "Do you really think you're a leader or whatever?" And the whole thing, we're not seeing the Wyatt Six right now.
Yeah. Do you feel in charge? I think is what the.
Yeah. Do you feel in charge?
And that's what he said to her, in the first couple months of them being around was, do you feel in charge? So I really do hope that they go after her and let her kind of stand on her own and maybe go through another transformation. Yeah. Transformation.
I agree.
We'll see. I hope that they do well with it and it can be a post WrestleMania thing. And I like when they kind of tease the post WrestleMania lull, cool stuff that they're going to do.
I will say too, I think the whole reason we have not been seeing the Wyatt Six is Bo Dallas is legitimately injured.
I did see something about that. I read, I think it was on probably Twitter or X or Reddit or something where somebody said, is it because of their injury? So it looks legit. Again, after that though, we got another Street Profits promo. So I then was like, okay, cool, but can we do something now? So I mean, we keep seeing them, but then we got Pretty Deadly after that. I think it's coming. It'll come, but I don't think it'll be in time for WrestleMania. It'll be after. This is another one of those crumbs that they're laying out for after WrestleMania. Maybe I have been seeing the TLC matches show up a bunch on my TV lately, and I don't know if it's because I keep saying it out loud or if WWE's pushing that stuff out again to test to see whether or not it would be a good idea to bring that back. If you see that, people out there, if you see a TLC match on anything, click on it. Give them what they want. I want to see this match. I want to see TLC.
So do I.
So click on it, people. Help us out. I'm clicking on every TLC match I can find. Anyway, after that, and I know I skimmed through those. There really wasn't anything huge to come out of those other than after the Pretty Deadly segment, you had DIY kind of come in and they had their little tiff. But it's really just a bring around the rosy with that, with all four of them right now. Three of them soon to be the Street Profits. But I did say I do really like the focus that they're giving on to the tag division. They are giving an incredible amount of screen time to the tag division, and I am a fan of that.
I dropped something. Ignore it.
Well, moving on. And then I didn't mention it earlier because we kind of talked about it, but Sammy's video that went out where he kind of explained about his neck and he went on. That was earlier in the show. We had Kevin's response again. So this is like 5 promos in a row, but we had Kevin's response to that, which I loved. And I am loving Kevin Owens right now. And the way he responded was phenomenal. It was terrifying and it was wonderful.
I'm impressed in the fact that this will be the third or fourth time that Sammy and KO are going to feud again,
Yep.
and they're still finding a way to keep it fresh.
Yeah, I said Kevin's response to Sammy, we've seen this before, and I'd watch it 100 more times. Like those two dudes, I would just keep every few years, just keep refreshing that for me. Just keep hitting refresh because I absolutely, those two are cinema and I love them.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, so keep that going. Kevin is top of the line for me right now. We'll talk about him in a minute. But then we got that Tiffany versus Nia. I thought it was a good match overall. I didn't like the DQ finish because it doesn't make sense. Why would you? I don't know. I feel like doing a DQ there. Go ahead.
So I think that they did that because obviously Tiffany's not going to lose the belt, but they need to keep Nia strong. So they got to.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But it's just, in my opinion, it was like, why not then do something like, maybe not as obvious, have it be a little bit, kind of crazier. I don't know. It just felt wasted. It felt like a waste of a spot. So, I didn't really care for all that, but we did get our confirmation from Charlotte after the match. And I think that's really what mattered here. I don't think the match mattered at all, even though it was a good match. Tiffany is a baller, by the way. Shorty can throw hands, and I love to see it. But yeah, I think it really came down to Charlotte calling out Tiffany. And what do you think about that?
I am a really big fan of Tiff, and I do like this little partnership thing she's got started with Trish Stratus.
Yeah,
Good
that's
rub.
cool.
Sure. Yeah, apparently from what I had read online, this was always going to be the case. It was always going to be Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton, except for the way that the WWE had planned it. The heel and face was vice versa. Tiffany was supposed to be heel and Charlotte was supposed to come back and be a face.
But she was too popular.
The crowd loves Tiffany too much.
Yep, she's too popular.
We've seen this song and dance from Charlotte before. I don't think she is a face. I don't ever want her to be a face. She's not a face.
No, she's not. And she's not good as one. She sounds like a suck up when she tries to be a face. But no, I mean, I get that, and I'm fine with that. I don't think this was the match to make. No, I really don't. But I don't know who else we would have matched Tiffany up with. Because I do think Tiffany needs that big match rub, and I don't know that Rhea was going to give her that. I think that's something Charlotte has to give her. But does Tiffany make it out of this alive? This is the one I don't know, and I don't want to have to call because this one's hard. I know it seems obvious, but I don't think it is.
I'm putting all my money on Tiffany winning and Charlotte putting her over to solidify that much more that Tiffany is the next great. But I could also see Charlotte politicking in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They plan on having Tiffany win, but I also think Charlotte Flair is a very good politician. And she might change.
She is her father's daughter for sure, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens because I don't know. First of all, I think Charlotte's like training for some like bodybuilding competition because she looks way different than she ever has. So I don't know what her future is going to be, but I do know that it just feels like. I don't know. It feels hard. It feels hard to pick. It feels really hard to pick.
I agree. Just because I do know that some of the good politicians in the back can get stuff changed.
Yeah, and I don't know if she's one that will take the fall. Is she Hogan or is she, I don't know who was good at it. The Sammy, Kevin.
A lot of her at the end. But
yeah.
Before, one of the biggest politicians ever, he beat freaking the British Bulldog in his home country for the European Championship. Like that's a triple dagger.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it though, in a sense, more than I thought I would be. I didn't think I'd wanted this match, and that's between me watching it 2 hours ago and us talking about it now did I kind of change my mind on that. But hey, we'll move on. We got the news on Jade. I know that they showed the Raquel Liv thing, but I do think there's still hope. I think there's still hope because I saw Naomi's face when he said there was footage, and Naomi looked concerned. So I do think there's still hope that we could get a heel turn. Marissa, my lovely wife, she wants a heel turn by one of these women so bad that it, like, I can feel it in my household. It needs to happen.
That's the thing. Me and Cassie were also very let down. As soon as I saw Liv and Raquel pop up on the thing, Cassie's like, "Are they?" My wife literally goes, "Are you throwing this away?" And I was like, "God, I hope not, because if this is what they're doing, this is a massive fuck up."
Yep. But there's got to be a reason. I got to give Triple H his due diligence and just give him a chance, because I feel like if this is what's happening, there's a reason for it.
Well,
Something didn't work out.
here's something that you probably don't know, and I bet a lot of people don't know. You know who just became the head writer?
At WWE?
The Road Dogg Jesse James is now the head writer, and the last time he was the head writer was 2017. That's like the Jinder Mahal WWE Championship run. That was a really bad year, and it was also known at that time to clap back at fans on Twitter and everything else. And is he ready for it this time? Is it going to be the same thing as last time? Or is he some bad booking? Like what's going on with that?
Well, I'm hoping there's some constraints on him if that's the case. Because I know he has been working. He's been producing a lot of matches.
It's just I didn't know that, but all of a sudden when I found that out today, I was like, oh my God, maybe this is why it's Liv and Raquel did it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, and that makes sense. I mean, you remember the whole, was it Stone Cold? Yeah, the Stone Cold car accident thing, and it ended up being Rikishi. Like, what? What?
I did it. The Rock. Yeah, well, we all remember that.
What? So that's what this feels like. It's like, why would you even do that? But whatever. We'll move on. Main event. Main event was solid but predictable. I knew going into it what we were gonna experience. I didn't know between Braun and Damian who was gonna win, but I knew it wasn't Jacob. So I was mad about that, because I would like to see that man that feral individual in a cage with 5 other people is the only thing I want to see in my life. But I knew that wasn't happening.
Yeah, I think they're booking Braun poorly. He is one of the guys that I do love.
Yes.
Cassie's a huge fan of him. And if you haven't seen it, go watch Braun Strowman's mini documentary on the WWE part of Peacock.
From our neck of the woods, right? He's up there in Wisconsin.
Yeah, being a Wisconsin guy and knowing he comes up here all the time and he's very close with I can't remember what the town was called again. I think it started with a K, but he's very close with everybody in that town. Kind of found out who he was, and I was like, God damn it, I love Braun Strowman.
I feel like it's Kenosha. He's in Kenosha.
Yeah.
But I just know I've been a big Braun Strowman fan. Some of my favorite shirts that I have are "Get These Hands" and "Monsters Are Real." And I really badly want one big SOB shirt. It's just I can make it myself, so I can't justify paying for it. But I'm still gonna probably pay for one. But I love Braun Strowman. They've always booked him poorly. It drives me crazy. There's no reason he should have taken us south to heaven. That doesn't make sense to me. There's zero reason Damian Priest should have been able to lift that man up and slam him with one hand.
If there was ever a match to have a roll-up pin or something like that to keep everybody strong, it's this match. Because, yes, what the heaven, he got it. I don't like that. I get why Braun had to be the one to get pinned. They needed Damian in the Elimination Chamber. They got to keep Jacob strong, but still, I don't like it. Braun is getting screwed over.
So why not have Braun run out to the side of the ring to do his little choo-choo on everybody? Jacob takes him out, right? They throw him back in the ring, and then that's how Damian wins, and because Jacob's fighting with whoever. That makes more sense to me. That keeps everybody pretty strong, But yeah, I don't like what they're doing with Braun. I really don't like what they're doing with Damian, to be honest with you. I think they're still trying to push him too hard, and he's not where they're putting him. And I don't want him to get Roman. I don't want people to turn on Damian. He's incredible. Yeah, but I don't think he added more to the chamber than what Braun Strowman would add, because you need that one wild card who has no enemies in there. Let's just, I can take out all of you. I don't care about any of you. You need one of those.
I really would have liked to see Braun take somebody right through the plexiglass or whatever in the chamber, or maybe both.
Yeah, honestly though, what we need in life is going to be like a chamber maybe next year where you got Braun, you got Drew, you got Sheamus, you got Jacob Fatu, and throw Gunther in there or somebody, and just big meaty men slapping meat. I'm gonna say it over and over again. That would be the greatest chamber of all.
And what? Did try to get involved, and Cody stopped him at the end too.
Yeah. Well, and he had the spike to Tonga, and that caused Jacob to leave. So, I mean, that's going to keep going. But I see Cody. Cody really wants that man. He wants his hands on that man. So that's interesting, too. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I almost feel like we're going to get a solo Cody at the chamber.
And do you think they're going to run it back again?
Maybe, or just something. I feel like Cody's going to demand something. He's going to want to fight. So. Well, and they're not going to have any other championships there, and they haven't determined his yet. So why not put his title up? Because then it could still be up in the air.
Yeah, I could see that.
The other ones, they got graphics. The other one is solid, locked in. Can't change the graphics.
That's so should we do our countdown?
Yeah. So we did what we wanted to talk about heels, because that's what we feel like we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. So we both came up with 10 heels that we absolutely love, and then 5 heels or heel runs, we could say, that we did not like. Because I would say that a couple of mine are not that I didn't think they were good heels. I just didn't like their run. I thought it was a poor run, or that they weren't actually heels. They were,
or they were just a job.
Yeah, they're too popular to be heels. But anyway. So what do you want to do? You want to just go through your list? You want to alternate? How you want to do it?
10-1, and then for the bad, I went 5-1. So do you want to do number 10? You do 10. I do 9. You do 9.
Yeah, that's fine. And mine's you could switch mine in order, but I think I do have mine kind of from 10-1. So
okay. So number 10, Dominic Mysterio.
That's my number 10 also. I wanted to start or end my list with him, so that is also my number 10.
It's perfect. It's everything he's doing right now, and the amount of heat that he generates that's a true heel, and I think it's the best heel that we have in WWE right now.
I think it's the best his type of heel, because my next guy I think is the best heel in WWE right now. I actually have two of them, but they're kind of the same role. Want me to go first on this one?
Yeah, go for it.
So mine are kind of the same. So Ethan Page / Kevin Owens, because I think they're playing the same role. I think they're playing the same kind of character. And so I guess you can call one an honorable mention, but those two right now in the WWE are my favorite heels. Dominic has got organic heat and it's amazing, but I think those two are playing the role of heel better than anybody in the business.
Yeah. I don't know much about what Ethan Page is doing, because I still got to get my ass watching NXT, but Kevin is doing a really great job.
Check out Vengeance Day. Check out that match against him and Javon. It was, whew. Check it out.
All right. My number 9, I have Yokozuna.
Oh, beautiful. I didn't put him on my list. Beautiful pick.
Yeah, he was a Samoan pretending to be Japanese, and everybody get a lot of heat.
I had no clue he wasn't Japanese for solid 25 years of my life. I had no clue.
Was a grown adult when I was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. He's related to who? Threw me off. So, no, it's a good one. 8?
Yeah, I'll do 8 then. And I have Bray Wyatt, that early run.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, that's a good one. I put Ric Flair here. Ric Flair, one of my favorite heels. But I could have thrown him in my other one because he was almost too popular to be a heel.
He's on my list.
Yeah.
He's definitely last. All right, who is your 7th?
That was Roddy Piper. I know it's too low. I'm sorry. I know it's way too low. But I thought about him a little late in the game. I'm a little biased. I'm recently biased, recency bias here. So I do have some people that are newer, but Rowdy's on number 7.
Not even on my list, but I think
Oh, that shocks me.
I liked him too much as a heel, so I don't know.
He should almost be in your top or your bottom list, the 5 you
Yeah.
didn't like.
I have Edge with Lita.
Okay. See, now he's in my other list because I just never liked him as a heel,
I thought, I mean, he drew massive heat with the crowd.
Yeah. I mean,
he was on the side too.
Yeah, I guess I didn't experience that live, so I don't know that I really got the feeling of it like I probably should have.
It was definitely different live than going back to watch. All right. Who's your number? You're on 7, right?
6. 6
You're
is
on
you.
6. Well, 6 is me. Randy Orton.
Right? Oh, I see. He didn't even make. How did he not make my list? How did Randy Orton not make my? Oh, don't tell me why. Randy Orton's so good. Randy Orton is such a consummate heel that even when he's being a good guy, RK Bro, I just knew he was waiting to strike. That is the perfect heel. He should be number 1 on everybody's list. I'm pissed that I didn't put him on my list. Good pick. Good pick. I have The Rock right there.
At number 6?
Yeah, number 6.
He's not on my list.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So I mean, honestly, we both screwed up. You got to put The Rock on the list. You got to put Randy Orton on the list, and we didn't do it. So maybe we'll only get
your number 5.
Triple H. Triple H, the cerebral attack. Is your number 5? So we had 10 and 5, the same. Cerebral assassin, baby. I love him. He'll always be one of my favorite heels. Even the people that are above him on this list are not in my heart as my favorite heel. This is my absolute favorite heel, is Triple H.
Yeah, he just everything he did after DX, the Goldberg stuff, he really made Goldberg seem like he knew more than 10 moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly,
stuff.
I looked at sledgehammers differently. I looked at leather jackets with jean jackets differently. There wasn't a bottle of water safe around me without me spitting it somewhere. Like, the man defined a lot of my big kid days. Like, I was a big fan of The Rock when I was young. He was my John Cena. And then I grew up into being a Triple H fan, and I just wanted to be the game. That's all I wanted. So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Number 4 for you.
Player was my number 4. He was on my list, just a little lower than yours.
Or higher, some would say higher. Mine here is one of my least favorite heels. But honestly, I could not put him in this list. It is JBL. JBL to me is such a perfect heel. Like, he makes you really hate him, and I feel bad because there was a long time in my life I hated that man for no good reason.
I don't ever remember him in the face unless if it was an APA reunion.
Yeah, I mean, when they had that APA, like, just even the initial APA, they were almost kind of faces. They would have been in my top, where I was like, they weren't heels. They were faces that were beating they were Stone Cold. Stone Cold was a heel, but he wasn't. He was beating everybody's ass. So
I agree. That's a good one. That's a good pick. We're on that, right?
You're 4. Yeah, you're 4.
No, I'm on 3 now.
Who was your 4? Flair was your 4. Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Go to 3.
MJF.
Nah, we were really close. We were really close to doing it again. He's my number 2, so I'll spoil that one. He's my number 2.
I think that before where WWE is right now and how it feels like we got attitude back, MJF was the dude that brought attitude back to wrestling, period.
I 100% agree with you. I don't think WWE would be doing what they're doing now without MJF. MJF deserves all the flowers. The dude is incredible. That's all I'll say.
I think he's the main reason why WWE acknowledged that AEW was doing halfway deep for a little bit.
1,000%. I agree. 1,000%. He is huge and should continue to grow. His star should continue to grow. And if he wants to stay at AEW, awesome. I hope he does great things. I love MJF.
I think we knew that if MJF is gone, that company's going to flop and throw big money at him.
I don't. We'll another day. My number 3 was Mr. McMahon. And I really would change it to the McMahon family as my number 3. Their heels they're crazy. So I guess what's your number 2 then? So since I spoiled mine, I was gonna put him on the ones I hate just to piss you off, but CM Punk, I like him better as a face though. I like him. I like this CM Punk.
So do I, but I mean, you can't deny the Taker run.
Yeah, yeah,
And Paul Bear's ashes on him, on Undertaker. You can't deny the Jeff Hardy run.
yeah. I guess I didn't watch it then, and so it's hard for me to. Again, I didn't get caught up in the emotions of those moments the way that I am now. So yeah.
Punk with the Punk and Rey Mysterio run, the S.
Mhm, mhm.
And on. He's one of the greatest heels of all time.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know him as a heel. So, it's tough for me. I
And then
feel like our ones might be the same. I want to hear what yours is.
my number one was Vince McMahon.
Oh, okay, so they're not the same. Yeah, no, because
Yeah.
my number one is the one Roman Reigns. I put it up.
Yeah, my list.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I'm recency bias. I just love that 4-year run, 5-year run of Roman as an absolute heel was like nothing I had ever seen in my life. So,
That's true. Not in our lifetime, at least, to have somebody have that long of a run.
and to be relevant the whole time. So that's why I got to give him number one. The dude did great things. So, all right, let's go on to the ones we hate
So
or the ones that we just didn't agree with.
Of heels that I didn't care about is what I named it. For me, people that played a heel, and it's not even that they got heat; it's that nobody gave a shit.
Fair enough. All right.
Number 5, I have Brad Maddox.
Yeah, Brad Pax.
The
Yeah.
ref, the Punk and Ryback, Hell in a Cell, and he gives the low blow to Ryback, and then later on he becomes like the GM of SmackDown or Raw, one of the two, and it's just I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that scale, I agree with you. Like I don't care about his heel run. My scale was a little bit different on this group. This group was heel runs that I really either didn't think were heel runs, like they were just way too over to be healed, or I just thought it just wasn't good for him. It was a bad fit. Because my 5th one is The Undertaker. I never looked at The Undertaker as a heel. He was always one of my favorites. And so it's hard for me to hear Undertaker as a heel, even though Ministry of Darkness and things like that, he was definitely the heel, but it didn't feel that way to me. He was going up against the McMahons. They were the heel.
Yeah, and it was definitely Attitude Era where you couldn't. Nobody was a face. Nobody was a heel. It was kind of just.
Everybody was ambiguous, and that kind of plays out in my list a little bit. But what we got next?
Number 4, I have John Laurinaitis.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
You remember People Power shtick, and he was the VP of Talent Relations or whatever it was. Every time he was on TV, I was like, dude, I don't care.
Don't care. Yeah, John Laurinaitis never did it for me.
He did not get those good boos, those Dominic Mysterio boos. He got grown. There we go.
Literally, here we go. Yep, I agree with you. Yeah, my number 4, AJ Styles. Again, not because I didn't like him. It was just I didn't think it made sense to have him as a heel. It wasn't a very good. Nothing really happened for me in that moment. So I just thought it was a waste of time to have him as a heel.
I don't like him as a heel. I way like him more as a baby face, and they've had him heel turn 3 times now, and I don't like it.
None of the times did I like it. So yeah, that's why he's on my list on that one.
You haven't heard this name in a hot second. Number 3, the Giant Gonzalez.
So ironically, I just watched a documentary on Giants in the WWE, so I was just hearing about Giant Gonzalez. That's a good one. I like that one.
But he's wearing, like, the second you saw what he was wearing, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, well, not to mention, he was the nicest guy in the world. So, like, he didn't even play a good heel.
No, he did not. And then
Andre the Giant was a great one.
Nothing against him personally. I mean, anything personal was probably more towards John Laurinaitis and Brad Maddox personally, because I'm pretty sure, allegedly, that Brad Maddox is the one that leaked those Soraya paid videos. John Laurinaitis, he's just cool with doing some nasty, dirty, gross stuff, if that's true. But Johnny Gonzalez, guy, he just wasn't a heel.
No, and he should have been a gentle giant, and they didn't do it. So
yeah.
But I did watch that documentary. It's on Peacock, I think. Was where I watched it. It's the Giants or something like that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
My number 3 is Macho Man, again, simply because I don't like him as a heel. Because he wasn't a heel, damn it. They just wanted to put him up against Hogan, and so they called him a heel and Hogan the face, and that wasn't the case. But hey, Macho Man was way more over than Hogan. They were just forcing it on. It drives me nuts. Drives me crazy. Macho
And I
Man's not
think
a heel.
I could agree with that. And I think my wife would fully agree with that because that's her guy. That's her favorite guy. She's got a stuffed animal, Macho Man Randy Savage, upstairs right now next to her on the couch. Like
That's for you, Cass. All right. After what the WWE did to Macho Man, he was not a heel. That guy was way more over than Hogan. He was way better than Hogan. That's for you, Cass. F Hogan.
All right. This next one, I think you're shocked a little bit, but I think a lot of wrestling fans would agree with me.
I have a feeling that it's going to be the same as mine. Go ahead.
Ronda Rousey.
Oh, not that. I 1,000% agree with you, though. 1,000% agree with you. She should have been a babyface from the beginning. She should have never been on the microphone. Or if you're going to make her a heel, take her off the microphone. Either way, don't let her talk, and she would have been just fine. But no, I agree with you. Yep.
She had much exposure, and then she turned herself heel by attacking people, talking bad about the business, talking bad about wrestling fans, which is a golden. Don't do that.
Yep.
So yeah, she was not getting good heat. She was getting Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Yeah, she was Logan Paul before him. My number 2 then, and I thought this may fall on your list, was Bret Hart, because he's another one that I thought they called a heel when he never was really that guy. I thought Owen was more of a heel than Bret was. But I just never felt Bret was really a heel. He just never embraced it like Shawn did or any of those other guys. I feel bad not having Shawn on my list, but the whole time WWE, again, just like with Hogan and Macho Man, they tried to make Bret the bad guy and Shawn the good guy or whoever else the good guy, and I wasn't with it.
That's because somebody was a very good politician.
Yes, we know.
No,
still to this day, it's a good politician.
And Bret Hart was always like, he was the right way to do Hulk Hogan. He's a family man and everything. To turn heel, I didn't like it either.
No, I mean, he was boring to the fan who wanted the extra stuff, but he was a wrestling savant, man. That dude knew the business. He knew everything. And so, I mean, I never liked the way they treated him, and the fact that he's forgiven WWE and they've all made amends on that stuff is amazing to me, because I don't know that I could have. Who you got?
All right, number 1, I think for who I am and how much I love wrestling, and I don't have enough money to show my fandom, but I am a mega fan. I am. My number 1 worst heel of all time is Logan Paul. Get out of my company.
All right. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just gonna move on. Mine is Edge, and it's again only because I didn't like him as that character. I thought it was the worst. I thought it was cringe-worthy. It was weird. He didn't look comfortable. Lita didn't look comfortable. Nobody looked comfortable. And every time he does heel since then, he's awkward. He's just weird.
Yeah, the live sex show thing was terrible.
It was horrible. And it should never have been done. No, I mean, and beyond that, just the whole run was just bad. Now, him and the Brood and part of all of that, sure, fine. He was great there. But, I didn't even look at, I mean, I don't know who you would have looked at as the heel in the TLC. I thought they were all fan favorites. So, we
were still in that era where it was like, is anybody an actual,
No, it's just who do you like? You took sides. I like The Rock. You like Stone Cold. I like the Hardy Boys. You like Edge and Christian. You like the Dudley Boys. Everybody just took their sides. It didn't matter who was what. But that's my number 1 Edge, but not because he's bad at his job, but just because that was a bad role for him.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Remember when we were talking before we hit record, and we're like, an hour sounds good.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half. So that didn't work out. All right, well, this is a special show now, because special shows are an hour and a half, so we're gonna come up with a special name for this one. But that's all right, man. Hey, I had a good time tonight. We had some good conversation.
I definitely needed it.
You got anything you want to say to the people before we go?
Yeah, hitting that like and subscribe button on YouTube and Spotify does mean a lot to us. It doesn't take you anything. Click the button. It doesn't even cost money. The freest thing you'll ever do. So help us up that. We have our link tree thing. You click on that ad and you go ahead. I don't know anything about technology.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I mean, just wherever you see us, just interact with our stuff. We love to interact with you. So, if you have ideas, feel free to email us, direct message us on any one of our platforms. Somebody will answer you, and get to you as quickly as we possibly can. So, but we're doing this for us. We're doing this because we love wrestling. We're doing this because we lifelong fans, and we're best friends with this sense, man. We became friends because of this industry, and so we love it, and we want to share that with all of you. So we would like to include whatever ideas people have. Our wives get involved. Some of the stuff we've done has been their ideas. They love this. I don't think my wife has listened to one episode, though. She keeps telling me she has, and I don't think she has. I was like, when do you find the time? That's not true. So
Nancy listens to our episodes every Monday at work.
oh, she works from home, so there's no chance she's sitting here listening to my voice in the place she hears my voice all the time. So, yeah.
We'll
All
throw
right,
this.
guys.
I've only ever listened to one of our episodes.
Look, I drive quite a bit for a living, so I listen to them, and I plug them into my ears tonight, and listen to this episode to make sure that we didn't have any crazy stuff happen. But all right, man. Hey, this was fun. I had a great time.
Episode 7 or 8 or something.
Seven. It's gonna be a special episode now because we went for 48,000 years. But hey, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. All right, guys. Thank you. All right, man.
All right. We good? We clear?